I've been sitting on this for a while now, and I believe that WWE 2K25 Showcase Mode actually delivers a very authentic experience compared to the past couple of years, but there is a couple reasons why I feel the way I do and why you guys decided to click on this video. Before we go on ahead and get into it, make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe if you guys have been enjoying the content. Let's go on ahead and get into it. We can go on ahead and start with the good. The Showcase this year brought some returning features and some new features that you really notice with the beginning intro. You go in there and you start off with an amazing intro with different camera angles that we've never seen before. It truly makes you feel like you are part of the actual just story itself once you get in there. I personally loved it. It's probably the best thing that they've done with the Showcase mode since Showcase has been a thing. You go in-game cutscenes are brought back, something that was taken out a couple years ago and finally made its return, and that again, something good. That is a pro to the game to me. Now, when we talk about some of the cons with this thing is the what if matches. That took away from the experience to me because it felt like these were matches that were just put together and just put out there for us to really just see and just do and just feel like we're actually doing something to unlock these characters. Instead of having what if scenarios, we got just objectives where you just had to beat up your opponents for a certain amount of damage and then we go and can go for the win or whatever the case may be. And that again, it just took away from my experience. It felt like it was just a bunch of thrown together matches aside from the matches that were actually real, and they were able to switch out some of the scenarios or whatnot, such as the Umaga and John Cena. Instead of John Cena winning that match like he did in real life, you actually try to win the match with Umaga, and the cutscenes that happen in real life do happen in that match, but you get a championship celebration and all that, you know, for Umaga once you win the match. So that was cool to me. But when it comes down to the meat of the what if matches, I just felt like they really didn't execute nor deliver on that end. And I think that it's truly a good idea because it adds a twist to the Showcase that I think a lot of people want and need in a mode like that. But I think that we are now kind of at the point where we need to let this die. We need to let this go. We need to try something new or bring back something from back then, because again, a lot of people feel that this year it kind of let them down just a little bit because they didn't want to replay history that just recently happened. Showcase to me as a kid was fun, and I'm sure to kids is also fun as well because you're also educating them on the history of what the WWE has been and whatnot. So that is fun, don't get me wrong, and that's cool, but I feel like there could be something more intriguing or a better story being told with a Road to WrestleMania. And Road to WrestleMania, that was a super fun mode. You got the free roam in the backstage. You can just do so much in Road to WrestleMania, and the stories weren't honestly that long. I remember I used to get them done in about 2 to 3 hours, but you know what? The storyline and how original it was is what kept me going because I didn't know what to expect. In a Showcase, you know what to expect because you are witnessing history and then replaying it. And again, that's cool because the unlockables that come in Showcase, which is honestly one of my favorite parts, that's fun. But I feel that if we just step back for a second, do a Road to WrestleMania or even a story mode where creators and players can go and create stories and upload them to community creations, that would honestly be a huge just weight lifted off of 2K's shoulders, simply because they don't have to worry about creating a crazy story every year because you have the elements for players to be able to go in and create something that is going to be intriguing to players anyway. It's never ending content, and that's something that I personally would like to see with a story mode. But going back to a Road to WrestleMania, for me personally, I just feel like that's probably the way that they should go. Players have been asking for free roam for a long time backstage and just being able to do different things. That would be a really fun experience, especially with the graphics nowadays and just, you know, the AI capabilities of being able to create a really good original, just fantastic story. And I think that, you know, I got faith in 2K that they can go on ahead and do that. Showcase did a complete 180 for me this year in terms of the experience, but I think the substance and just the twist that were supposed to be the what if matches, you know, I'm ready for something new. I'm ready to go on ahead and let this experience go and try something else. You know, an original story could be more intriguing to players. Now, the only way for me personally that I think I'd be willing to actively accept a showcase every year is if we begin to get that DLC like we once did. You guys remember that Hall of Pain DLC, that One More Match DLC with Christian and Randy Orton in WWE 2K15. Now we go back to 2K15 and we don't obviously think of a bunch of good things, right? We look at that game and we're like, man, that game was extremely bare bones. The graphics were amazing on that game, especially coming off of the Xbox 360. But when it comes down to the showcase mode, that's something that they really perfected back then. The fact that we were getting additional showcase content, additional storylines, even if it was through a season pass, it was just fun. You know what I mean? It was just something that we could expect and something that we could wait for to play and get more unlockables and whatnot. But again, it's one of those things that I don't see happening anytime soon, especially because of the time constraint they have and they need to work on so many modes. Like if you look at 2K15 that year, it was very bare bones, so they had the time to go back and work on this DLC throughout the year. Nowadays they don't, because we have a MyGM, we have a universe mode, we have all types of stuff going on in these games, so I completely get that. But honestly, I think that Road to WrestleMania, a story mode, story creator, having that freedom to go in there and create the story and being able to upload it like we once were able to, that's the mode that I personally miss the most. The freedom of being able to just choose so much stuff, and that's what makes the mode complex, because that was one of the most creative modes that we've ever had in this game. Honestly, it's probably the most creative ever. The fact that we could go in there, we can choose all those cutscenes, even having dinner and just doing a whole lot of stuff, backstage interviews. It was truly, again, my favorite mode ever. I remember going in there, being able to type away with the keyboard. I would honestly much prefer that over a showcase mode nowadays, because you can do showcase and more with a story mode. Those are just the two alternatives that I would personally like to see when it comes down to, you know, getting rid of showcase and moving something else in that slot. Again, it's a very informative mode, and I feel like it's being executed a lot better nowadays, but the what ifs was supposed to be the big twist, and I felt like that wasn't properly executed, unfortunately. So hopefully it's something that we could see in the future. It's worth a conversation. It's worth bringing up the topic for, because I truly love, you know, playing this game. And showcase, to me, it just feels like, all right, I played through it and that's it. There's not really too much replayability to it. I remember playing Road to WrestleMania, even the same story, 2-3 times back in the day, man. I personally just enjoyed playing that much. Road to WrestleMania used to have even multiple stories. I remember I used to have the Chris Jericho, the John Cena one. They were just options, and that was something that I feel is needed nowadays. I honestly think we'd be cooking, just me personally, but we'll have to see what happens, man. I felt like it was worth starting a conversation over, because showcase, we've been getting this for a while. I believe since like WWE 13. I would personally love to see a change, you know, and bringing something back to replace that mode. Just my 2 cents though. Let me know your thoughts down below. Make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe if you guys are enjoying the content. I'm gonna catch y'all. Peace.